Welcome to RPPV News, bringing you stories from across the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp, and our top items for this edition are: Frankston and the Peninsula welcome their new councils. Christmas camping is a no-go. 2 challenges to higher courts are quashed. A warning when burning off. And this week is NAIDOC week. Now for the full stories. First we go to Shivani Pillay for the details of today's announcements of lockdown restrictions.
Thanks, Catie. Today we bring you the much-awaited announcement by the Premier with some liberating COVID-19 news. From 11:59pm tonight, Sunday the 7th of November, the 25-kilometre radius and the ring of steel between regional and metropolitan Melbourne will be removed. You are still only able to have 2 people inside your home, but those 2 people can be from different households and they can visit at different times. Restaurants, cafes and pubs can have 40 patrons indoors and 70 outdoors. Overnight accommodation can reopen with strict limits on who can use shared facilities. Gyms and indoor sports centres will be able to operate with a maximum of 20 people, with strict density limits applying to gyms with groups up to 10. Gyms and indoor sports centres will be able to operate with a maximum of 20 people. Strict density limits apply to gyms with groups limited to 10. Indoor pools, indoor skate parks, indoor trampolining centres, libraries, galleries, community venues, theatres, cinemas and museums can reopen with up to 20 people per space. Gaming venues can reopen for up to 10 people, with 10 per room in casinos, with a maximum of 10 rooms being used. Funerals will increase to 20 indoors and 50 outdoors. Faith gatherings will increase to 50 people outside with 20 inside. There is no change to weddings. 1 household per day will be able to visit care facilities, including aged care, for 2 hours. There will no longer be time limits on partners visiting maternity wards. Further restrictions are set to be eased on November 22nd. We are still required to wear masks and be tested, even for the most mild symptoms. With 9 consecutive days of 0 new active cases, we should be so proud of what we've achieved. It's been such a long journey, but we can be optimistic and hope for a reunion with family and friends this Christmas and summer. That's the COVID-19 special report from RPPV. I'm Shivani Pillay.
Thank you, Shivani. Well, the votes are in and both Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula have elected new councils. Both councils are seeing a lot of new blood, with only 1 incumbent returned to Frankston City Council and 3 holding on to their Mornington Peninsula Shire seats. The new representatives for Frankston's North East Ward are Nathan Conroy, David Asker and Suzette Taylor. The North West Ward's councillors are Stephen Hughes, incumbent Chris Bolam and Sue Baker. And South Ward will be represented by Brad Hill, Claire Harvey and Liam Hughes. Meanwhile, the Shire has a woman majority council. The new councillors for Briars Ward are Despy O'Connor, Steve Holland and Anthony Marsh. Hugh Fraser returns to Nepean Ward with newcomer Sarah Race. It's an all-female Sea Winds ward with incumbent Antonella Celli and new representatives Deborah Marr and Kerry McCafferty. David Gill returns to Red Hill Ward, Lisa Dixon will represent Cerberus and Paul Mercurio is the new face for Watson Ward. Councillors for both the Shire and Frankston will be formally sworn in on the 16th of November, when mayors and deputy mayors will also be elected. RPPV was at the Shire's declaration of election ceremony where we got to meet some of the new councillors.
Kerry, congratulations down there at Sea Winds. 3 very powerful women. You're one of them.
Yes, thank you. I'm very pleased to see that a majority of women are in. I think it's time.
Sarah Race, congratulations. What a campaign that was. You to be congratulated.
Thank you very much. It was very exciting. I enjoyed the whole lot.
Deborah Marr, congratulations. Sea Winds. I mean, it was a long, difficult campaign. You got there, one of 3 newbies down there.
Yes, that's right. Now, talking about a campaign that was unprecedented.
Steve Holland, congratulations. A good win for you down in Briars. Busy session to get your name up there, but in the end you must have been very happy with your numbers.
Yeah, I was. With 15 candidates, 15 strong candidates, 2 very community-minded people. I was happy with the result.
Lisa, congratulations. Fantastic performance by you. You must be absolutely delighted.
I still can't believe it, to be honest.
Despy, congratulations. Briars Ward, pretty tough battle down there. Unusual circumstances to be standing for council, but you did it.
I did. I'm so excited, and I feel like I've got a chance to represent my community over the next 4 years, Brendan.
Antonella, congratulations once again. You're in the first position down at Sea Winds.
Yes. Thank you, Brendan, and thank you very much to the community of the Mornington Peninsula and also to the Sea Winds Ward in particular.
David Gill, congratulations once again, another 4-year term.
Yeah, I don't know if it's congratulations or not. Another 4 years. I think I'm up to, at the end of this, I'll be up to about 18 years as a councillor.
Hugh Fraser, congratulations once again, another 4 years in prospect. You've had a lot of experience in council down here.
Correct.
Never before under these circumstances have you embarked on a 4-year term like this.
Yes, it's going to be, I think, a very difficult 4-year term. I think we have to have great concern for the community and the community's needs at this difficult time.
John Baker, congratulations. Here we are, a new council for you to work with. 6 women, 5 men. Yes. How are you anticipating things?
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, if ever there was a time for a new council to grapple with the impacts of COVID and the requirement to really focus on the Mornington Peninsula Shire's economy, now was the time.
Go to the RPPV website to watch all of those interviews in full. One of the new Shire Council's first issues will be the fallout from the announcement there will be no foreshore camping on the peninsula this summer. The Shire has postponed the camping season at Rosebud, Rye and Sorrento till February 2021. Though a vital contributor to the region's economy, the Shire declared it was not possible to ensure the safety of campers sharing toilet and shower facilities during a pandemic. The Shire has suggested the areas usually occupied by campers be used for picnics and as overflow spaces to maintain social distancing on busy beaches. Local traders, meanwhile, have told the leader they fear the loss of trade will lead to the collapse of many small businesses who have barely survived months of lockdown. The Shire will review the situation in January. This week, the High Court dismissed a constitutional challenge brought against the Victorian State Government by a Sorrento restaurant owner. Julian Gurner, who owns Morgan's Restaurant and Bar in Sorrento, has brought a claim that the state's lockdown laws contravened his individual right to movement and to conduct business. The Victorian Government's lawyers successfully argued that the right to movement within a state is not covered by the Constitution, and that as restrictions were being lifted, there was no foreseeable consequences for either party. Mr. Gurner's claim, which was funded by billionaire Jonathan Muntz, was found to have no merit and was dismissed. Likewise, earlier in the week, a claim made by Capel Sound restaurant owner Michelle Loiello in the Supreme Court was dismissed. Ms. Loiello argued the state government's nightly curfew infringed on her rights, including freedom of movement. The Supreme Court found that the curfew was a valid and appropriate response to the public health crisis and dismissed the claim. The court reserved its decision regarding costs. When we return, Peninsula locals get the chance to fix it rather than ditch it.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spitfire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
I know how fast grass fires can spread. You'll want to escape, but you shouldn't drive. The smoke is blinding. And you'll block roads for emergency vehicles. Just walk 2 streets back and check warnings on the Vic Emergency app.
Authorised by the Victorian Government.
Welcome back. The Peninsula is holding its very first Fix It Festival. The Mornington Peninsula Shire is celebrating the satisfaction of fixing things without the need for buying something new. They're hosting a series of online workshops on composting, sustainable living, upcycling textiles, repairing common household items and more. Every workshop is free and can be booked online at the Mornpen website. The CFA has called on residents to take care when burning off. The warning came after several private burn-offs got out of control across the state on the Melbourne Cup holiday weekend. On the Peninsula, open-air burning is permitted on Fridays and Saturdays between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Only properties of more than 1,500 square metres can burn off, and no more than 10 cubic metres of vegetation can be burnt at any one time. Deputy Chief Officer Greg Patterson urged people to check local weather conditions, particularly wind, and register their burn-offs. A fire break should also always be constructed around the site and water kept at hand in case control over the fire is lost. He stated it is also important to check the site for the following 2 to 3 days, as burn-offs notoriously flare up again after a couple of days, especially in windy weather. We can expect some flashy new vehicles out on the water this summer. Victoria Police has added 5 new boats to the Water Police Squad's flotilla over the past couple of weeks, taking the total number of new vehicles to 12. They have been replacing their older boats since 2017 as part of a $7.2 million overhaul designed to standardise the fleet and allow for more efficiency in training. The most recent acquisitions are rigid hull inflatable boats, which will be used to support the work of both the Water Police and search and rescue teams. And this coming week is NAIDOC Week. Events look very different this year, with most going online. The theme is Always Was, Always Will Be, and all of Australia is encouraged to learn about and celebrate the wealth and breadth of our First Nation communities' history, languages and an understanding of our continent. Willow Moraine in Hastings is hosting a flag-raising ceremony on Friday the 13th, which will be streamed on their website and Facebook pages, while the Everywhen Art Space in Flinders is holding a month-long exhibition in celebration. Get online at the NAIDOC website to find events taking place near you. Now we go to Alana with the coming week's weather report.
Hello, I'm out and about and I'm just as excited as you are. It's Alana here with your RPPV 7-day weather forecast for the Mornington Peninsula, recording on location at the Enchanted Adventure Garden in Arthur's Seat. Today, Saturday the 7th of November, it's looking like we're in for a top of 16 degrees. You can expect a partly cloudy start to the day before we have a sunny afternoon. On Sunday, we'll drop down to a low of 9 degrees overnight before we climb to a top of 19, when you can expect a beautifully sunny day and some southeasterly gusts of up to 30 kilometres an hour. Heading into Monday, for the start of your week, it's looking like we'll have a low of 10 before we climb to a top of 25 for sunny conditions throughout most of the day. On Tuesday, we'll have a low of 13 and climb to a sunny top of 28. We can expect northeasterly gusts of up to 30 kilometres an hour and sunshine throughout most of the day. On Wednesday, we'll only have a low of 16 before we climb to a top of 25, where we will have early morning sun, but a late change with a thunderstorm and winds and rain of up to 6 millimetres there. And on Thursday, we'll have a low of 12 degrees and a top of 19, and you expect those showers to hang around with up to 3 millimetres of rain expected on Thursday. And on Friday, that rain will be easing before we reach a top of 17 degrees with partly cloudy conditions throughout most of the day. So I'll be exploring my 25-kilometre radius, and I urge you to support our local businesses and visit some wonderful places we have down here in the peninsula, like the Enchanted Adventure Garden. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you next week.
And now to Muzz, our man on the coast, with the surf report.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. We're at the back end of a small swell, pretty much flat today. But as of tomorrow, we will have a front come through and the swell will ramp up considerably. We're looking probably about 8 to 10 foot out in the open beaches, so that's going to mean probably waves at the reefs in Western Port. Unfortunately, the wind isn't going to be too favourable. Friday, there's a slight window where it may go around to the west-southwest, but it will be fairly solid as of Thursday right through till Sunday. So enjoy those waves you can get in the water. Early next week, it'll go back offshore probably Monday or Tuesday. Be solid beach breaks, 4 to 6 foot. and probably on the interim there'll be waves probably around Flinders on those days and offshore conditions. So guys, enjoy your last week of semi-solitude. There's a lot of people around this weekend, but it was a long weekend. So enjoy it. It was good catching up with a lot of people down the beach that I hadn't seen for a while. And as of next week, it's probably going to be open slather, guys. So good luck and let's get a surfing.
And that's all from our team here at RPPV News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Enjoy reconnecting with family and friends across the whole of Victoria after the 8th, but remember to keep your distance and wear a mask. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.